sgmd. So I remember I was watching a video of Julio Palmas, who invented stents, and my wife and I actually went out to see his vineyard in Napa, and I was really interested in him at the time, and I'd been reading about him and watching some videos of him and listening to him talk and speak. And I remember one time he talked about his upbringing. I want to say his father was a bus driver. He basically had a very, just kind of very blue collar job, and he became this doctor that invented stents. And he said that what it bred in him, his upbringing, was that he basically said something to quote, I want to quote, is that he's just a fighter his whole life. And it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to just be a fighter your whole life, to just set yourself up for that. But I think that what he said is true, and it's true of a lot of specialties. It's definitely true of IR, and it's true of medicine. Is you just got to be a fighter your whole life if you want to do this. And if you're not set up for that, then maybe this isn't for you, because it just is what it is. You've got to be a fighter every day in medicine, and if not for yourself, for the patients, because you've got to fight for people that can't fight for themselves, and some of these patients cannot fight for themselves. They're too sick. It's the disease. They don't understand. They just can't do it on their own. They have cancer, but they need someone that's willing to fight for them, and that's going to be you. And if you can do it, great. I think you can do this job. But if you can't do that, then it might not work out, and you got to reconsider. And I'm coming off the heels of this, that we're fighting for these patients that have diseases like pelvic congestion syndrome, poorly understood disease. I'm taking care of such a patient. I had to fight for her. Her case was denied by insurance. This is not something new, or this is not something unknown. A lot of people talking in forums about this and this occurring, that people with this disease entity are not able to get insurance companies to cover the procedure, the treatment, which is embolization of the dilated abnormal vein. And you got to become a fighter. You got to find a way to fight this through the insurance companies. You got to sit down and fill out forms and create narratives, and create documents, write things out. You can cut and paste stuff, but basically you got to create a narrative that supports your treatment. You got to create a narrative that supports this disease entity and this patient, and you've got to send that to the company, and that they have to review it, and you have to come to an agreement where, yes, it does actually make sense to do this procedure. It takes time. It takes effort. It's not a straightforward process. Every company is different. Every insurance company is different. You're going to do it in different ways. But we did this for this patient. We, as a team, our receptionist, our nurse practitioner, myself, our whole team, put our heads together. We fought this denial. It took months. It took a little back and forth. It took a lot of weird phone calls. I played a little phone tag. When you're calling state institutions, and you get a sense, sometimes unfortunately, that they're not really wanting to work with you, and you have to sort of go the extra mile. But you get it done because you're interested, because you're a fighter, right? You're interested in the disease entity, you know how to treat the disease entity, and you're a fighter, like Julio Palmas said. And finally, I want to say about 4 months later, we get that approval. We get her on the table. I light up that vein. I light up that vein on angio. That vein is dilated. It is refluxing. It is abnormal. It is an abnormal blush in the pelvis. And we do what we're trained to do. We are trained to embolize or get rid of abnormal veins. And that's what happened. And right at the end, I popped an 8mm plug right at the outset of that vein, and basically ended that vein. We ended that vein that day, and it felt good. And again, if this is something that you're looking for, if you want to fight against something and succeed and win in this manner, then I think medicine might be a good fit for you. But it's not easy. You are going to be up against something every single day. I enjoy it. It sort of fits me. It fits my internal narrative, and it gives me purpose, and I can reap the rewards. I can't tell you how thankful that patient was, how thankful her boyfriend was for us to do that, for us to create this system where we could accomplish this. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for myself, for my training, for my team, people that I work with, that they can share in this accomplishment with me. And I'm thankful that the future will have more opportunities like this in this field. So I gotta go grab some diapers. So Struggle RMD, I'm at it again.